the hills where the cedars bend, Jen and Glenn keep their shadow den. Mud on the tires, dust on the gate. They know every secret, every slip, every fate.
Whispers move fast on a hollow wind.
Hey everybody, thanks so much for joining us. I can't believe we're already Tuesday, and I can't believe it's almost the middle, well, I guess technically it is the middle of August. I know a lot of you are sending your kids back to school, so, routines are starting, so we sure appreciate when you join us live for our show, but we love when you watch us on replay. If you don't mind, just hit the like button and subscribe if you enjoy our content. We really appreciate it. Tonight, as most of you know, we're going to be discussing Juanita Adame. She joined us for an awesome interview this last weekend when she had a small amount of time to really kind of talk to us about her finding the scanner traffic and what it looks like with the landscape of media and how much it's changing. I think it's kind of drastic how much it's changing now from your local and national news, and how people are really tuning in to broadcasts like ours for a deeper dive into a subject that they really appreciate, or, other forms of entertainment on YouTube.
Yeah, the 911 call stuff. Not the scanner call was really neat, but it's cool how it turned into another conversation that you had with her that I thought was pretty interesting. So I think y'all will too.
We really appreciate her input on that. I think it was really neat hearing it from a reporter and somebody who's currently working in mainstream media, what she thinks about it. And she also gives us a little take on her perspective on the calls and what she thinks about this case. So we're really, really very thankful that she joined us for this episode, and being a new broadcast and being able to get somebody like her is really exciting. So if you also see her handle on there, give her a like, give her a subscribe. She's doing such a great job bringing unique content to the whole true crime podcast genre.
She's a total pro too. She really is good at what she does.
She's the nicest person. We're so grateful to have met her and gotten a chance to get to know her a little bit. So thank you for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it. We're about to get started. Right now, you're joining us in our dining room, believe it or not. We're so fortunate to find this house with a library in the dining room. I love my books. I love my research. So thanks for being a part of it. Thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving us awesome comments and emails about how much you enjoy our content and our research and our guests.
And the memberships. We're overwhelmed with that. We weren't expecting that.
No.
It's just so cool. So we're definitely going to, put more membership stuff out for sure. We've been working on some pretty neat things behind the scenes, and we'll share all that too. And again, tonight's going to be not just the scanner audio and getting to see the interview that we recorded with Juanita Adame. I'm pretty impressed with that. I was kind of shocked. I think you will be too. And then also we could mention that we do have, I kind of stumbled on my words earlier about saying 911. We do have some additional scanner audio from the original 911 call from the Guthrie family. Now, how do you say it? This is all unsubstantiated, but when you hear the audio, I think you can draw your own conclusions, but we drew ours. I think.
Some of this has been on YouTube and on other people's channels. A lot of people have shared it, but something I'm finding out really quickly is what we think are the main channels. Boy, we're finding out there's some amazing channels out there that we'd never heard of. So, again, it's a very large space. There's room for all of us, and we sure appreciate when other people share things. But when I started looking for, more 911 potentially responses from law enforcement, we came across this one, and we didn't realize it had been shared all over the place. Somehow we missed it. So Glenn was able to track down the original audio on that.
Well, I don't know if they're the original, but they did a really good job with it. And then they get a full, credit. You'll see it plays the whole time. You'll see who we got it from. And then on Juanita Adame's scanner audio, I think we outlined it and put it in a way that's going to be very easy to get a grasp of the timeline, which was the hardest part.
Yeah, thank you for doing that.
Oh, it was my pleasure. I love it. So tell me what you think after the show, for sure. And we're going to have another giveaway tonight. And this time I think I may have my wheel of free stuff working. So We'll see.
And we really appreciate everybody, like you said, the members that have been commenting on how pretty the Ozarks are. I'm glad that we've been able to kind of take you on some little outings with us when we have our days off. We really appreciate you members, and we were really, thankful for so many people joining on even the last episode.
Sure.
So thanks again, and we'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.
Hey everybody, good evening. I can't believe it's Tuesday. Welcome to TBX Unfiltered. I'm Jennifer. This is my husband, Glenn. Tonight, we're going to be discussing what Juanita heard after the 911 calls. So let's get started.
More centered on you this time. After the 911 call, what did she find? Really? Yes.
Hey everybody.
We made it.
I can't believe it's Tuesday, and I can't believe the kids are already going back to school. I always used to say when I was little that once 4th of July hit, that was it. Summer's over. My sister's like, wow, what a killjoy. I'm like, well,
Really?
I just always feel like it goes super fast the minute 4th of July hits. So anyway, happy back to school for everybody. And again, we thank you so much for joining us on a Tuesday night. We're so happy to have you here. And we're even happier that we got the opportunity to talk with Juanita Adame. She's the one, if you all don't know her, please go like and subscribe her channel. She has an amazing channel with amazing information that is coming from a different perspective. I mean, it's really nice hearing from somebody that's not only in the mainstream media, but currently in the mainstream media, and hearing her take on a lot of different true crime episodes and things that are happening. So when we, heard about her, like many of you, finding the scanner traffic that she believes is the scanner traffic from the day that Mrs. Guthrie was found to be missing, I think it's really interesting to hear it and really kind of dive into some of the details now that it's been 6 months later, things that we feel are very true. Law enforcement is reinforced, and really listen to the details of those calls and get her perspective on what she thought was interesting about them. Maybe some things that she feels maybe should have gotten a little bit more attention from media. And then I also wanted to ask her what her perspective is and thoughts on the changing platform of media in general. I feel like the whole landscape of national media versus independent coverage media kind of creeping in is really changing things. And I wanted to see what somebody who is currently in the mainstream media, what they think about it, what they're hearing about it. And
That was interesting.
wasn't it? It was kind of neat.
Pretty cool.
So without further ado, I think we can get started.
Got a new member. Thank you.
Thank you
Solid.
so much. And thank you for those of you that have subscribed. Sorry, I got something in my eye. And so I'm really excited about it. And I think it'll be interesting perspective the way we've put it together for tonight.
Yeah, so we have the dispatch communication after the Guthrie 911 call. We assume the Guthrie's called 911. We also have the scanner situation where you can listen to all the scans, and then you have the interview. So however you want to roll those, we'll do it that way.
Well, I think it would be nice for everybody to get a refresher, especially since we've been kind of delving into so many different parts of the case with everybody. And I know that this is going over stuff we already know, but I think for those of us that are very detailed and we're trying to keep track of the information with this case and maybe try to read between the lines, so to speak, on a lot of the stuff that law enforcement has shared with us, I think it helps to break it down and see visuals attached to it. So the way Glenn and I arranged it and the way Glenn put it together with the graphic, I think is awesome. And I mean, I know it sounds gross to be like,
It was
we
easy.
love each other so much, but I really
Working on
am.
it for 3 days.
I'm serious. I'm really appreciative of the way you
I
did
hope
it.
works.
No, I think it'll be great. So let's go ahead and
Also,
show.
just a little house cleaning. We will have a giveaway later in the show. So if you stick around into the after party,
Thank you so
Super Chat, Major Rammer Jammer loves y'all. All right. We love you too,
Thank
buddy.
you so much. We're so
Thank you
happy
from the
for our
bottom
mods.
of my heart for being and showing so much love and support. Y'all truly mean the world to me. You do to us too. Major people that know you love you, and
Yeah, we
I feel
can't
like
thank
we're
you
that
enough
now.
for all your not only emotional support, but keeping our chat classy and a clean place to share. You know, we don't mind anybody that obviously disagrees with us. It's like, let's just be adults. Let's have an adult conversation and keep it polite. And let's keep this going. And we also thank Jim from Jim Survivals. So we really appreciate him too for being a mod for us. And he has a channel where he talks about true crime as well. So thank you so much to our mods. We really appreciate y'all.
Yeah, please hit the like button. And what was I just saying? House cleaning. Oh, that if you stick around later, Jen will have a little bit of an interesting update on what the last episode.
Yeah, boy, who knew that was going to light the.
Wait to the end a little bit later to talk about it. But yeah, that ignited some passion for sure.
Yeah,
and we've
guess
got
so.
some answers. So
Yep.
there you go. So you want to do the 911 dispatch thing first. So roll tape 1.
All units stand by to copy a safe alert. All units copy a safe alert. It's going to be authority from Pima County Sheriff's Office, last name at Skyline Drive in Campbell. Occurred on yesterday's date at 12:15 hours. Subject last name of Guthrie, first of Nancy, date of birth 1/27 of 1942, 84-year-old white female, 5'4", 150, brown and blue. Last name wearing unknown clothing description. Subject was not seen at church and family went to the residence, and subject was not at home. All personal belongings, including a 1021 and wallet and vehicle, were still there. Subject is nowhere to be found. Subject suffers from limited mobility and has medication scheduled to follow and needs daily. If located, check code 20 and contact Pima County Sheriff's Office. Again, last name at Skyline and Campbell in Tucson, and a safe alert at 12:35.
So that was the 911 call came in. That's
That's
dispatch.
not Juanita's. Yeah, that she
That's
found.
not Juanita's. That's the dispatch putting out that call. The original actually had I think it was 5 different calls, but they're all say the same thing. It's another entity saying stand by for call, and then they read the same thing, but it's different people. So I listened to it over and over, and there's very little variance between them. So I thought just playing the one to keep it clear in your head, because there's a lot of audio tonight. So thought that was pretty interesting. You pointed out the address wasn't on there, but it said Campbell in somewhere.
Well, you know what? That was actually a viewer that wanted us to share that. And we really appreciate when people send that. They were like, I think you might want to listen to this, because it wasn't her home address, which was kind of interesting. It just said between, and then it was, Campbell and Skyline. So that was kind of interesting. But anyway, we also have, of course, Juanita's. So.
Yeah, and that was Mommies for Justice or whatever.
Yep.
They have a really good channel. Definitely go check them out. And that was posted back in the early part of February, like February 2nd or 3rd. So
I know, it's so amazing.
it's been out there a while. I'd heard it a long time ago, but kind of going back and seeing these things that we originally got me interested into this, and then we've moved on to so many things. It's like we always say, go back to the beginning. It's like, your first impression on things is usually the right one. I don't know if that's the case with this, because I've changed in so many times, but hearing that again, I pulled different things out of it now. That she has a mobility issue. We know that. But to hear it on the initial call was a little bit different for me. Like, that was part of their calling in. My mom's missing. She has mobility issues. So in the context of now we know that the police, sheriff's department shows up to the home, they know she has mobility issues, but yet they're still thinking it could be a walk away at the point.
Well, they said safe alert. So
yeah. Safe alert instead of silver alert. So I don't know. It's pretty interesting. So now we will play the scanner. version, right? And we can
Yep.
start and stop this. There's a couple slides.
And this is what Juanita spent 3 days, y'all, finding. I mean, it's this incredible
Well,
amount
this
of
is
work.
the audio. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll actually have an interview with her in a minute. Oh, actually, no, this is.
Hey, can you check for any transports or hospitals, please?
I'll be 1060 the missing person as well also. I texted everyone that's working a OLN photo over.
After you've checked the property thoroughly, let me know if you want to get search and rescue involved.
17. If you want to stick to the neighborhoods northwest, 842, you can take the southwest, and I'll stay on the east portion on Campbell neighborhood.
Try not to disturb any of the items in the house. We're getting a hold of a scent tracking dog, so try to stay away from the blood outside and anything inside the house that could hold a scent. Copy.
Can you start checking any adjacent properties to see if anyone's got cameras that might be facing this way? Family here does not have access to the cameras on the property. Inside, they were able to get into the phone. Also, Kane is here.
Negative. Jane Doe is on all the local ERs and hospitals. 10-4, thank you.
So that's just
Yeah.
Juanita's broadcast, and I just chopped it where it's just the audio of the actual transmissions. But now what we can do is go over. I have slides of each transmission. It was like 2 on each slide, and then the audio will play again. But I wanted to hear all of it in a row. It'll say on these slides too. It was about an hour and 20 minutes, hour and 17 minutes between the first call and the last call.
Yeah. And then, like I said, Juanita was nice enough to do an interview with us. So we have her after that. She did it on Sunday. So we recorded the interview. We asked her a bunch of questions. Yeah. She was at work. She was so nice. She was like, I've got some free time Sunday. How about that? Would that be great? And I was like, that'd be awesome. So we'll show that after we do this. But I asked Lynn to do this because I don't know about you all, but when it's broken up and then we talk in between, I forget what was just said. So it's kind of nice to see it all in, I guess, sequential order from when it actually happened. So
Slide 1.
Hey, can you check for any transports or hospitals, please?
I'll be 1060 the missing person as well also. I texted everyone that's working a OLN photo over.
Okay, so let me back that up a little bit so you can talk, Jen, over this. And
Archibald said that I have too many words and I talk on and on. He doesn't want to even listen. So
bye, Archibald. Nice knowing you.
I don't know why you're here. It is a talk show. So I guess, this initial response, it says, can you check priority transports or hospitals, please? And then it says missing person as well. Also, I'll text everyone that's working on a BOLO, which is be on the lookout, with a photo of her. So you can just play through this and then we'll show her
No,
interview
here's the second one.
if you want to do that.
After you've checked the property thoroughly, let me know if you want to get search and rescue involved.
17. If you want to stick to the neighborhoods northwest, 842, you can take the southwest, and I'll stay on the east portion on Campbell neighborhood.
Try not to disturb any of the items in the house. We're getting a hold of a scent tracking dog, so try to stay away from the blood outside and anything inside the house that could hold a scent. Copy.
See, that one was interesting.
So I thought this was interesting because if you didn't hear it, I think most of us did. we had Ashley Banfield that said that her source, which we now know was someone from the scene with Pima County Sheriff's Office, said that there were blood droplets inside the house that mimicked the blood droplets outside the house. So I thought that was really interesting that there was no mention of blood
Not
inside.
stepping on the inside.
Right.
It literally said, don't step on the blood outside the house.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what stood out to me on that particular piece.
Could have been a slip or something. I don't know. You want to hear it again?
Sure.
Try not to disturb any of the items in the house. We're getting a hold of a scent tracking dog, so try to stay away from the blood outside and anything inside the house that could hold a scent. Copy.
Yeah, I mean, it clearly says outside the house.
Right. And just try to stay away from anything inside the house that might have a scent. So,
See, and I remember that when I listened to the initial tape of it. And I remember I came to you and you said, yeah, there's something about just the out. And I couldn't remember what it was that made me think that that radio transmission was specific about the blood not being inside the home. And that's what it is. He says the word outside. In fact, it's highlighted on that slide because of that.
yeah.
It's interesting. So here's the fourth one.
Can you start checking any adjacent properties to see if anyone's got cameras that might be facing this way? Family here does not have access to the cameras on the property. Team inside, they were able to get into the phone. Also, Kane is here.
So they couldn't. They were able to get inside Nancy's phone. So obviously the phone was there from the beginning.
Yeah.
The cane was here. I guess they're talking about her walking cane.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it just is so frustrating when you hear these calls. It's like you can hear the confusion. I feel like there's a lot of confusion. And that's when, I think a lot of us were wondering, why don't we hear the 911 calls? And, if you're new to us here, then you may not know that Glenn's brother-in-law is a retired homicide detective from Kansas City for over 20 years. And we kind of bounce some of this stuff off of him because, stuff all of a sudden it jolts you and you're like, dang it, I wish I could ask somebody this question. So he's been really nice about us just bugging him a lot on this case. And he said, here's the problem with 911 calls. A lot of times there's information, especially in a potential homicide, that they don't want out there. Like there may have been identifying things like, when was the last time you saw her? Last night. What was she wearing? Well, she was wearing, this outfit, and does she wear any jewelry like all the time that she doesn't take off? Oh yeah, she has an Apple Watch with this color band. Or when we got here, we saw the pots where, doors were propped open. There may have been intrinsic things to the case that only the criminal would know that they were revealing on the 911 call that they may not want released right now. So I think, the nosy part of me wants to know every single little detail, but the logical part of me understands that it's none of our business. So for some of this, and I know even in the Coburger case, they kept those quiet because they were trying to keep those girls safe too until they got him in custody. So I think there's a lot of reasons for why they're not released right away. And I guess we just have to be patient.
I think it's Linda Pinder says that Kane is actually canine. Canine is here, but the dog died in December, I think.
Oh yeah, the dog had died the previous year. I understood it to be her cane is still here when they were talking about her mobility issues.
Well, that was a couple transmissions earlier, but I think that they had already known that. Yeah,
like her wallet's here, her cane's still
so
here.
She didn't just walk off without her cane. I wouldn't think. I don't know.
I didn't think I heard canine, but
And again, we need to say that none of these audio transmissions that we're listening to have been officially, called out as the Nancy Guthrie audio. We're just assuming by the information that's on them. So,
and the address.
Well, I mean, it's her, but who knows? Maybe not.
Negative Jane Doe's on all the local ERs and hospitals.
10-4, thank you.
So that was over an hour and 17 minutes from that first transmission to that one. But that last one was just obviously telling us that they didn't, after the search, there were no Jane Does in any of the local hospitals.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I had like something in my eye. Yeah, we even asked our son, who is our oldest son, is a firefighter EMT in a very large city in the North Texas area. And I asked him, I said, if you got a 911 call and dispatch called you out to a home, I asked him things like, would you leave doors propped open? Would you, how would you enter the home? And it was really interesting hearing his perspective on a lot of things on that. And we're trying to talk he and his friend into coming on and kind of going over, some of this stuff. But one of the main questions that's in regards to these transmissions was, I said, how long would it take for a responding officer to, definitively say there was no response to this home in the middle of the night by emergency? And he said, it'll be really quickly. They can go on their radio. Was there anybody to this address? Because we're assuming that if she did have an emergency, it was her that called. But even if it was a neighbor, it would still be to that address, more than likely, or within the very close vicinity. And he said it's also, they can do it on their laptops. So I thought that was interesting. But I know that they decided to go ahead and check, hospitals. So you said it was how much time?
Hour and 17 minutes.
Yeah, so an hour and 17 minutes for them to check all the hospitals. And they're saying Jane Doe because there's also a lot of issues with, HIPAA and whatever. They can't ask for a specific person. But a Jane Doe that came in around that age, they would be able to decide whether it was something to check into further. And obviously there wasn't.
A lot of people saying it was the cane was the canine.
Oh, really? Oh, as far
thinking,
as somebody said walking cane. So, as far as we know, her dog. I keep hearing that her dog died of cancer or something. Like I think one of the neighbors said that
the dog wasn't in the home anymore. So I don't know if somebody else's dog was in there.
I don't know.
That would be interesting. So the next would be the interview.
Yeah. Let's go ahead. Yeah.
All right. This is the interview with Juanita Adame, and her handles on there too. You got to check her.
Yeah. Be sure and, like and subscribe to her channel too. And we were so thankful for her doing this. I asked her right after we started our channel, and she was really, really sweet. And I thought it was like a compliment sandwich. It was like, thank you so much. I said, look, we're super new. I know you don't know us, but we would love to talk to you about these, transmissions that you seem to have found and get some more information from you if you wouldn't mind giving us an interview. And she was like, I'm just super busy. Thank you so much though. I really appreciate it. And maybe if life changes a little bit and I get more time, I'll be open to doing some interviews. And I said, so you're saying there's a chance? She laughed. And I said, if you change your mind, let me know. And then I was so excited last week when she sent me a message and said, how about this Sunday? And I was like, no way. Because it was like several weeks after I had asked her. So thank you again, Juanita. We can't thank you enough for doing this for our little audience here. We really appreciate the time and effort that you put into finding this information and then taking the time to let us interview you.
Yeah, I hope we get to interview her again. There was more to talk about. The last part of that interview got real interesting.
Yeah, she's really interesting.
So, thank you,
Snatty
J.
I really appreciate that.
The names. So here's the interview. And then it's about 20, 25 minutes, maybe a couple minutes longer. And just stick around because we have the giveaway later. And we're also going to talk about what comes up in this interview at the end too. And lots more stuff. So see you in a little while.
We want to welcome Juanita Adame. We thank you so much for being here. Juanita Adame is a reporter with CBS 47 in Fresno, California, who is bringing her mainstream journalism experience and investigative instincts into the true crime space on YouTube. So be sure and follow her channel. We will have it up right below her name. Her goal is a thoughtful discussion, critical thinking, and a genuine search for answers. Juanita recently spent 3 days reviewing audio represented as the scanner traffic from the morning Nancy Guthrie was reported missing. TBX Unfiltered has not independently authenticated that audio as official scanner communications. So throughout this conversation, we'll be careful to distinguish between what is confirmed, what is alleged, and what remains unknown. So Juanita, welcome so much to TBX Unfiltered.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I really appreciate it. I feel very honored. Thank
Oh
you.
my gosh. We feel honored to have you here. I can't thank you enough for giving us this opportunity. I think, real quickly, since we don't have too much time, I really wanted to just start by asking what kind of interested you in true crime in general? And was there a particular case or experience that just pulled you into it?
Yes, there was actually. I was pulled into the world of true crime with the case of Lacey Peterson. I believe that was in 2003,
Hmm.
2004. I was in college at the time, and I remember hearing the news about her going missing. And I don't remember how long she had been missing. I believe it was a few months before her body washed up on shore. But I remember being very invested in that case. And once her body was recovered, I remember just feeling just a sense of sadness and emotion, like just so sad and wanting justice for Lacey and her unborn baby, Connor. And I think that was the case that really kind of threw me into this world of highlighting victims and trying to advocate for them.
I love that. We actually talked about that case last night with Bill Garcia. So at the time this is going out to our audience, it'll be a few days later, but he actually helped find the cement that was used in that case. So yeah, that case just gripped the entire nation. Well, obviously, the main reason that I wanted to have you on here was discussing the scanner audio that you found. I mean, it's just incredible that you were able to locate that. And I know you said it took about 3 days to go through everything and find it. So, what led you actually to searching for the scanner traffic from that morning that she was reported missing?
Well, we have an app at work. It's called Broadcastify. It's a software actually that we use when we want to hear back on a call or there's something that we might have missed. And I remember thinking to myself, well, wait a minute, I can do this in the Nancy Guthrie case to just kind of hear what happened that morning,
Hmm.
the morning that she was missing. And I went back and I will be honest, Jen, I did not think that that was going to take off the way it did. I thought that the scanner traffic that I had found was just kind of common knowledge as to what was happening in those early hours of her disappearance. But I just felt like I wanted to hear for myself from, investigators on scene what was happening in those first few hours of her disappearance. And I think that's kind of what led me to look for it. And it took me a long time. I was here at work and I would kind of go back and forth between whatever story I was working on, and then on breaks or whatever I would listen to the scanner traffic and pick something up, and I would kind of try to differentiate, okay, this is related, this is not, this might be, it's a little far-fetched, but I kind of, picked out what I felt was related to Nancy's disappearance. And then that's how I compiled it together.
Well, it definitely resonated with everybody that's been so into this case. I mean, borderline obsessed. I think it's just, it's America's grandma, is what we're calling her. And it's like, it's just unbelievable. So, kind of those first morning hours and the first day of her being missing, I think was important to all of us to kind of get a understanding of, the chaos or the understanding of what they were up against as investigators. So I mean, I'm just curious, what stood out to you as maybe unusual, or was there any particular exchange with the dispatch? Or a change in tone or a sequence of events that made you go, wait a minute, I need to stop this and replay this?
I believe what stood out to me were the radio transmissions where they were talking about, I believe it was a pilot that was on the sheriff's helicopter when he said they were going back and forth with investigators and they were talking about, well, she couldn't have walked that far. I think that really kind of stuck with me because I was like, well, wait, I thought she was not a walk away. And that's where my question started to kind of come up is, wait, was Nancy a walkaway or was she not? That statement, I believe, kind of piqued my interest. Also, when we now know, because Monk's Intrigue said that Sheriff Nanos was in those transmissions, when he was talking about the family says they don't have access to her phone or they have access to her phone. That was interesting to me. Of course, the blood information where they said don't disturb the blood
I
on the
know. I
front
wanted to
door.
ask you about that. I thought that it was interesting when they said, in fact, I put notes on it in a separate thing
Mhm.
here. Hold on a minute. Let me pull that up. Yeah, it said, try not to disturb any of the items in the house. We're getting a hold of a scent tracking dog, so try to stay away um, from the blood outside and anything inside the house that could hold a scent.
That was a big one for me. I I kind of realized that yes, there's a chance they're talking about something else, another missing person that morning, but it's likely that it was related to Nancy Guthrie.
Hmm.
So it really piqued my interest because we knew there was blood. We knew at that point, by the time I was kind of going over the scanner traffic, it was common knowledge that there was blood on her front doorstep. But that was one of the statements also that really resonated with me because I got the sense that investigators knew something was really wrong. And the back and forth between she couldn't have walked that far to the blood information, it just gave me it was very confusing. And if it was confusing for me, who's listening to it as an outsider months
Hmm.
later, I can only imagine how confusing it might have been for them based off of what they were seeing versus what they were being told, which we don't know what they were being told, right? So
Right.
I think those were a few of the transmissions that stood out to me.
In reference to that specific transmission that you heard on the scanner, do you remember hearing from Ashley Banfield? And I'm going to find it to make sure we have that clip where she said that her insider said that there was blood droplets inside that matched what they saw outside.
Yes, I do remember that episode where she says that, but I did not hear anything from the scanner traffic that I pulled out. I didn't hear anything about blood inside, only outside.
Me too. And I thought that was interesting. So,
Mhm.
from what you report, I mean, from what you gathered from it, let's see. What about when you look at this case as a reporter, what stands out to you as genuinely unusual? Like not simply mysterious, but unusual compared with maybe some other cases that you've reported.
The press conferences or lack thereof. We're used to getting information, especially in high profile cases. We
Hmm.
will get updated daily, um, even hourly at times, if it's a very high profile case. So the fact that the sheriff stopped talking, I think after what, day 4 or 5, and said no more press conferences. And then he started giving information to different media outlets at different times. That was unusual. Usually we get one press conference, everybody sits in the room, we all ask our questions, and it's kind of a, even playing ground. But for somebody to go around and give different interviews to different media outlets is very unusual. It's not something we see often.
That's interesting because I know Brian Enton even mentioned as early as last week that he actually reached out to Sheriff Nanos for an interview and he still refused an interview with him. I wondered how that was resonating with other media outlets and reporters.
It's not a good look.
Yeah.
Usually, when there are officials, or whether it's PD or fire or government city officials, we get a pretty even playing field. Everybody gets to ask questions. Like I said, ask questions, and we don't get to we don't I haven't seen officials pick and choose like that. I don't think I've ever seen that in my career. Normally, if one gets it, if one of us gets the information, all of us get the information. And so it's very unusual that he's kind of picking and choosing and then not giving press conferences, and the contradictory information is also something that I
Exactly.
kind of picked up on. You know, the timelines, or lack thereof, certain things just didn't sit right with me as far as from a reporter standpoint.
What do you feel about him saying on multiple outlets that the family is, or that no one is cleared? And then from what I could find, it was only NBC that reported where he said the family is cleared.
I don't see, I didn't know that the sheriff can't clear a family. I heard this on a different channel where they were saying legally the prosecutor or the DA are the ones who clear the family or don't clear the family. I I feel like he is backpedaling a lot of what Ashley Banfield said in her early reporting of getting information from an unknown source or her
Hmm.
source that the family was involved. And then I think he tried to kind of um, dismiss that, and it just caused even a lot more controversy. So, how do I feel about it? I just feel very conflicted. I'm like, I don't know that it's his place to say that. I guess that's it. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, I
I'm
just wondered
I'm
if you'd seen in other cases where there have been press conferences where they've cleared somebody before somebody was actually under arrest or, in custody.
not that I can remember. Not in my particular experience. I know they were saying that it happened in the Kohlberger case, but I haven't seen it here where they were saying nobody's a suspect and then he was arrested. Kohlberger was arrested. So, but personally, no, I have not seen that.
But not clearing somebody, so to speak. Yeah, interesting.
Right.
So, is there something about this case that you believe deserves considerably more journalistic attention than it's received so far?
Something about the case that I feel deserves more attention. I would say the family, the Annie and Tommaso. We would like to hear from them. I think the public wants to hear their version of what happened. I know it's a really hard time for the Guthrie family, but
Agreed. Yeah.
I do feel that if they would come forward and speak, even in a controlled setting where it's just them and Savannah and maybe Cameron, a one-on-one interview, or I think we really would like to hear from them. I think that's something that would be very vital for this case, for the public to either back off and be like, okay, we've heard their side. But because, these were the last people to see Nancy and we haven't heard from them, it, I think, makes it very compelling, not in their favor. And I think that would be something we all want to hear. We want to hear from them. We want to hear what happened. What happened to your mom? Tell us about your mom. We also want to hear from the church friends. I think those are the other people we would like to hear from, the public.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Um, just, hey, what was Nancy's demeanor like? I know there was an article, I believe it was the New York Times. And what was Nancy's demeanor like the day before she went missing? I think they said she was just acting normal and happy. And so I think that would bring up a lot of either shoot down a lot of doubts if they came and said something, but I don't understand why they haven't.
It's interesting. I know. I think a lot of people feel that way. I think when you talk about the Lacey Peterson case, we saw so much of her mom, and friends
Mhm.
talking about just trying to keep attention on them. And it does feel like it's absolutely the opposite. In fact, her recent statement kind of alluded to the fact that she wishes that media would just go away.
Mhm.
It was just kind of interesting. So, speaking of media and independent journalism, I guess, what are these content creators versus mainstream media. So you're kind of in an interesting position with because you
Mhm.
still work with mainstream media, but then you're also, delving into the true crime, podcast area and on YouTube. So, what are you discovering personally about those differences in the two worlds, so to speak?
I would say reporters, we can only report on verified or confirmed facts. I think this is more of like an investigative approach to the Nancy Guthrie disappearance. There are things where I'm like, okay, I can't say that. I can't do this, or I can't outwardly like accuse anybody. Obviously, I don't do that in either world, in my
Right.
reporting world or here. I just try to be very cautious about what I'm saying. And I've discovered that there is a whole new world for true crime. It's not just the news. It's not just the 6 o'clock. No, I don't know that anybody even watches TV news at 6 o'clock anymore. For us,
Interesting.
the top of the yeah, the top of the newscast is called the A block. So I named my podcast after the A block because it's everything that happens afterwards. For my stories here at work, I get about a minute and 30 seconds to tell a victim story, which I don't feel sometimes is enough time. But I I feel like this space gives me an outlet to be able to tell a victim story in depth and the way that I want to say it and the way that I want to portray, you know, the way that this victim lived and the person who they are, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
No, and I think all of us appreciate that you're doing that because it's a very different perspective from just Glenn and me, Glenn and I, who, we're just two people that are concerned citizens, so to speak. We're not journalists, we're not detectives. So it is nice to see somebody like you that can come in and give a different perspective and probably a more polished perspective. I mean, I really enjoy watching your segments and I think they're very interesting. I know there's a lot of people that are so excited that you're doing this. So, speaking of independent journalists, do you sometimes feel like they have an advantage, like particularly when you spend hours or even days concentrating on one case? What do you think?
Do I feel that independent journalists have an advantage?
Yes.
Yes, they have. I mean, they have the advantage of time. We don't. I'm still at work so much. I'm at work Monday through Friday, and when there's a story that's, you know, top of the newscast, it takes me all day to put that story together, and then I get home really late. And so I believe independent journalists that work or who work for themselves have
Hmm.
that luxury of time. You have time to sit down and really thoroughly go through an investigation. You don't have this deadline of 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So yeah, I definitely feel that they have that advantage of just time to sit down and really process this evidence or information that's publicly available and then try to rework it into a way that's understandable for people,
That makes
if that makes
sense.
sense.
I mean, I kind of figured that, like you said, a minute and 30 seconds for a broadcast for somebody's whole story that you've been working hours on, and you have to
Hmm.
condense it when, here we can spend, 2 or 3 hours on it on one podcast. So have you
Right.
seen like traditional media beginning to like look at questions, information, or leads that they've gained, traction with like through independent journalists like YouTube channels or online communities?
Yes, absolutely, 100%. I've seen,
Really? Okay.
yes, reporters will kind of look at channels and, hey, wait, if we see a tip or we hear something on a YouTube channel, we do have to verify it. We do have to make sure, hey, did this really happen?
Right.
Um, Usually with that respective police department or law enforcement agency, we have to, hey, we heard this. Is this really what's going on? And once we get it verified, then we can report on it.
It's kind of interesting because when I did that interview with the ladies in Mexico at the Buscando, Corazones, and
Hmm.
when I reached out to media, it was more to find out the media that I reached out to specifically. I thought that they had a line of communication with the FBI and that I could get the information directly to them. And what was interesting is I think, thought I was calling to potentially get attention for. I said that I did an interview because I was like, how else do I explain how I got this information, you know? And they were like, unfortunately, we can't report it because we would have to have it verified by law enforcement that they actually received those calls. And I thought, wow, that's interesting. I said, well, I wasn't trying to get you to report it. I was trying to get, maybe do you have a back door? So they were very kind, but I did find that I don't know that normal people watching knows the lines of communication that you have to go through for validating that a story's, main topic, I guess. So kind of interesting.
I will say this. As far as local and county law enforcement agencies, we do have lines of communication with them. But when it comes to the FBI, at least not here. I don't know. Maybe in other cities, you do get an FBI source, or not so much a source, a contact. We don't get that here. I don't think I've ever in my career interviewed or come across an FBI agent. They're very hard to come by, extremely hard.
What do you think? How do you feel on that subject about a tipster that is obviously inside law enforcement that's giving details about a crime scene? Have you ever had that before?
I don't know if I should answer that.
Okay, maybe not.
We do build trust with agencies, and once an agency understands that they can trust you, they'll say, "Hey, this is what's going on. You know, we don't want you to report on this yet because it might, hinder the investigation." But we do get some insight. It's just we have to be responsible with that information and not report on it, so it won't hinder the investigation in any way.
That's what I wondered, how you felt as a reporter. And I know Ashley Banfield has much different rules, but I wondered how you felt about that, like her being able to report information like that.
I think that for Ashley to have reported that, it when I tell you that for us to actually say something, it has to be 100%, validated. And I think for her to say that, I don't think she just said it out of nowhere. I think that it was like something that her source told to her, and it was in that moment, like she said, that, you know, T was the prime suspect. I believe that was information that was valid in that at that
Right.
time. And for her to I don't, she got a lot of slack for it, but I think that as a reporter, I think a lot of us would most likely have done the same thing. And I can probably guess that Ashley checked with him 3 4 times and said, "Hey, I'm gonna say this, is that
Right.
okay?" And it went back and forth. And because we'll say, "Hey, I just want to make sure, is this okay to say?" And I know her being the journalist that she is, I guarantee you she probably went back 3 or 4 times and said, "Just letting you know, I'm going to come out with this, and oh yeah, go for it." And
Agreed.
so
Well, we've talked to law enforcement that said that they sometimes use the media as well to get information out there that may sound sensational, but it's on point, on purpose. So kind of interesting. Well, I know you have
yeah.
limited time, so I want to ask you one more question. So when you strip away the headlines, theories, platforms, competition between the different, forms of media, what should every journalist covering this Nancy Guthrie disappearance remain focused on, in your opinion?
On Nancy. I think it should stay on Nancy, an 84-year-old grandma who couldn't hurt anybody, and finding answers for her. There's so many different ways we can go in this case. I know there's been, controversy over streamers and being in front of her house, and just the sheriff, and it, it's almost like Nancy gets lost in all of this, and we want to stay focused on her, bring justice to those, who hurt her, for Nancy. That's my thought.
I
I try to
agree.
stay I try to stay within that. Every time I'm putting an episode together, I think, okay, I want to make this with integrity, and to focus on Nancy and finding her and getting answers for her.
Well, that's why we love you. That's
Aw,
just,
thank you
I
guys.
think, there's so many choices out there. Glenn and I say that all the time. It's like, there's a million uploads a day on YouTube. So when somebody chooses to watch, us, we feel like it's an honor. And when we find somebody that we want to watch and spend our time with, it's intentional. And it's because you are very respectful. And I can tell that even with your other reporting that I've seen, you're very respectful of the situations, because not every situation that you're asked to report on is sunshine and roses. So I think they're lucky to have you, and we're lucky to have you on YouTube.
Thank you so much, you guys. I love your work too. I love your channel.
Say thank you so much for coming on our show, and we really appreciate your time. We know it's valuable, and we feel honored to have you.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Glenn.
Paper in the morning, or your, sometime the morning programs that started, I guess, around the 50s. And then those became big. Then you had, Phil Donahue with a talk show that was like, something bringing into your mom's living room, because this is still the era of a lot of stay-at-home moms, and my mom watched Donahue all the time. It was like that was your hot topics, things people don't really talk about, and let's delve into it. But then your nightly news was everything to you. And what I found interesting, thank you so much for subscribing, was I feel like back in the day, so to speak, they didn't tell you how to feel about a subject, whether it was, a conflict overseas, or, what we consider, I don't know, controversial now. They didn't say, you didn't know if somebody was a Republican or a Democrat or an independent. You didn't know who those reporters were and what they were feeling. And sometimes I feel like, ignorance is bliss. You just heard about the facts of what was happening in the world. And I'm not saying that there wasn't stuff back then that was, sugar coated or whatever wise. I'm just saying it is kind of interesting that now I think a lot of us are frustrated with being told what we should be upset about, what we should be passionate about.
So real quick, it looks like we had some sound issues.
Oh.
I guess everyone can hear us now.
Oh, shoot.
It's part of the YouTube. The last 10 days, they've been having some issues.
Oh, sorry, guys.
I sent them a notice this morning asking them to.
Did you
please
mute
let
me?
know. Yeah. But anyway, someone said rewind. Basically, it was the Peter Jennings, all the old school reporters of the old days, and how things are different now. And
I just feel like, back then we weren't really told how to feel about a subject. We were just given facts on the news.
Right.
And,
they weren't opinion givers. They were just true journalists.
Correct. And I just feel, now, I think a lot of people feel like they don't want to be told how to feel a certain way. And if I'm going to be told how to feel a certain way, then I want it to be.
We're doing that right now.
Oh, thank you. What is it though?
She said, repeat it. I didn't hear it.
I'm sorry. I I think it's nice having choices where we can, you know, some people want to hear more theories in this case. They don't want to hear all the facts brought up again. You know, but overwhelmingly, I think our audience has been grateful that we're going back over from the start and then maybe bringing in some experts in the field to spend a little bit more time. I think a lot of us have clips. And what when Juanita was saying was really interesting to me. It's like we get a minute and 27 seconds to get out a news story. You know, thank you
should
so
go
much for
watch,
subscribing.
what is it, Channel 47 in Fresno or something. But you can just go to her YouTube channel. She's a sharp person. Like, she's really very
And a
bright.
good person.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, I think a lot of us are able now to go to YouTube where we can find the channel that, you know, find the flavor. Like you always say, there's always chocolate and vanilla. If we're not your flavor, there's others, you know, and find the flavor that you align with or like, or, you know, is something that really, you know, is more your personality. And I think it was interesting to hear a mainstream journalist say that she's seeing a difference. She's seeing that, you know, news coverage is changing, and because of their, what is the chat? What are they saying?
1,000 likes.
Oh,
Major Grammar
thank
General
you.
donated TBX coffee mug to a
Random winner. Oh, that's
That'll
so
be
nice.
2 giveaways tonight.
We really appreciate it.
Gosh.
Thank you,
Amazing.
Major. You know, I thought it was interesting that she said that even these live streamers, YouTubers, the mainstream media is watching, which, didn't you find that interesting?
Yeah. I mean, do you want me to tell you my little analysis? Remember?
Yeah, I like it.
Remember. Try not to say member anymore. It's a
Remember.
totally different word. Anyway, it kind of reminds me of what's happening right now. Now, I don't think that mainstream media is going to completely go away.
No.
There's a need
Thank
for
you.
the investment they put in, the quality of their being able to travel and break news before everybody else.
Yeah.
But I think TMZ kind of started it. They remind me of a independent coverage kind of a channel, but they're still on the network because it seems like some of the most amazing things come out of TMZ first.
Well, they used to be the Inquirer, you know, on steroids.
Yeah, they're a little bit.
And I think they still are.
Yeah.
A little bit. But I do see what you're saying. It's like if there's breaking news about a celebrity or something, I mean, I think
it's not NBC, ABC, or CBS.
Yeah.
Or Fox even, or CNN.
it's crazy.
It's TMZ, or possibly somebody broke it on their YouTube channel, but maybe only, you know, whatever they have, 1 million people saw it instead of, you know, 5 million, whatever. But this reminds me of back in the day, you know, you visit Vegas or New York, it's not the case as much, but in normal towns, there was taxis everywhere. Taxi service, call a taxi. That's what you did. Now what do we say? We say call an Uber. Well, those are independent providers also. So this reminds me of, it's kind of like the Uber of the broadcasting is now.
That's a really good analogy.
YouTube is like that, or, you know, Kick, or wherever you decide to do your broadcast at. We've chosen YouTube because it's the biggest and the best in our opinion. But, you know, so it just reminds me of that era of what's going to be the future. You know, I can't see myself calling a taxi if a YouTube's available.
Thank you so much.
Hey, Kim.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I just liked her perspective also on the 911 calls and what she thought was, you know, stood out to her. And I also liked hearing her perspective because I think there's been, you know, even I was nervous about, you know, sharing the interview or that we had, like, what are you allowed to share? What should you not share? And what, you know, how she felt about what Ashley Banfield shared. And, you know, we love Ashley's show.
Yeah.
So I was curious how, you know, mainstream reporters feel because Ashley has a different platform. So she is allowed to share certain things that maybe a network would be like, I don't think we should be sharing that, you know?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for subscribing. And, you know, so it was interesting to hear that she was like, I think a lot of us would have done that. So
yeah, and the real reason I brought up my analogy to Juanita is in, works for a major network. And she's agreeing. And now she has her own YouTube channel that could be 2 million followers in the next year, the way it's going for her. So I feel like that's the way it's going. I mean, I saw people in the chat, and I'm trying to read as much as I can. But
he can see it better than I can. So I'm sorry if I'm not responding.
A few of you have said, I don't even watch main TV anymore. I'm always on YouTube. And I feel like that's us now. Like all
It
of the
didn't used to be.
We used to have all of our certain shows that we enjoyed watching, and I still watch Frasier and reruns. It's like every day I watch a couple of those.
And
I feel
the
like
tracker.
if I have time, Tracker. Yeah, there's a few, but we mostly jump on and watch Patriot Pride and Boomer and who else?
Crime
Crunchies,
Alex,
Interview Room.
857. Yeah, we check into everybody that's doing all sort, and Mark the Shark, of course. And
Welcome, Grackle. Grace Kell.
thank you.
It's funny how you got to make sure the letters are.
I know some people
separate.
write me with their real emails, and I'm like, can you tell me what your handle is so I know who you are?
Yeah.
So, no, I mean, I think all of us, what's so nice is that, look, if we want to know that we want a better, drone coverage or something, we're going to go to Mark the Shark.
Mark the Shark.
If we want to know what happened with even, scanner traffic, a lot of us, I know things have kind of changed for 857 because I think they made some of it private now
I just
for
watched
Tucson.
this whole show the other night.
Yeah.
I couldn't turn it off.
I mean, and I think
I wanted to. I had to get to sleep, but I couldn't do it.
well, we fall in love with the personalities too. I mean, we feel like, I think there's a lot of us that feel like we know you. And even though you just know us by a handle, and it is interesting when you get a chance to meet some of these people in person. If you ever do, we haven't yet. So let's see. Hey, Monica. We love Monica. When social media first took off, MSM resisted it because they could no longer control when and how news was reached the public. Eventually, they had no choice.
That's true. You'll come back.
But to adapt. Streamers the same. MSM must embrace. Interesting.
Yeah. I think it'll evolve, and there's room for everybody. And what we were just saying, like the Interview Room, I go there because I know I'm getting a certain kind of information.
Yep.
I go
Big city crime. Same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My new one's Boomer because it's kind of like the Interview Room because he's lived the life. He talks the lingo, but he delves it down where I can understand it because I've never been a law enforcement officer. I have a lot of friends that are. We have them in the family. I know the family side of it, what the family goes through, what my sister went through, having a homicide detective as a husband took a toll on their lives, to a point where I think Brian ended up doing something else within the department before he retired. And good. He needed some debrief time before he hit the streets. And now he couldn't stay retired. He's doing something else now, kind of in investigative work. So, but I just feel like some of those channels, like Boomer's my new flavor of the week, he's like Neapolitan though. He's a little bit of everything, but his clips that he finds, you know what I mean? It's like his show is so good. I'm trying to take notes because
he shared us the other day too, by the way. Thank you so much if you're listening.
And I think his name's Glenn with one N, which there's only two of us on the planet. And I found him.
I can't.
It's always two
We
N's.
go to a restaurant and they're like, "What's a name for the reservation, whatever?" And we say
they ask for your name and
they say Glenn, and they go 1 N or 2, and he goes, "It sounds the same."
Sounds the same over the speaker. You can add 5 N's. I don't care. It gets to the point now when we walk into a restaurant, I'm like, Jen, give him your name.
Well, they say the same thing, 1 N or 2. I'm like,
or Jennifer with a J or a G.
So, but no, it's like, Brew Crew over 50, or beyond Brew Crew beyond 50, beyond the 50.
See, I go to him because he's also a judge.
Like Hawaii 50.
So I know that he sees lots of different cases, and just his angle's different. It's strange because he's still law enforcement, a long-time law enforcement, retired like Boomer.
He was a sheriff,
Being a judge changes a little bit. It's like his knowledge base goes into a little bit different direction, but he doesn't lose that law enforcement mind. So then he just gets on there and he goes, and he asks you questions during his. So everybody's got a different way of doing it, and there's an audience for everyone. So that's why we love sharing all the people that are having their little, independent studios and coming on there and broadcasting, and just do it. Get out there, come on there, and just, even if you don't have a plan, sometimes they just come on and we get the notification, and then I'm watching it going, wow, this is really cool. Like last night, Patriot Pride came on at midnight our time. Or
thanks a lot. I got no sleep.
We're getting sleep. We're going to do it.
The jewels. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Dad.
Yeah, I got zero sleep.
He came on, and if you're listening, Adam, that was a great show. Like
it was.
He's like apologizing. I don't really have anything to do. It's kind of an open mic night kind of a thing or whatever. But he was trying out some of his new equipment or whatever, or new way of doing the call-ins or whatever, but we were all there for it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, let's try the other one. I don't know. And then we got on topic about more investigative stuff.
Yeah.
And I think some stuff came out, and I was like, wait, I haven't thought of that.
You know
I
what
may
was
take
so cool
notes.
though about it is that you have a bunch of adults that were on there with
Well, I don't know
very
about that.
passionate. Well, come on. I mean, we're all passionate about this case. And, you know, we talk about it all the time here that a lot of us are digging our heels in. Like, this is what happened. Like, I know that this is what happened. And you got it wrong. I have this, you know, I have this proof. And then you find out, well, that wasn't released by Pima County. So is it really proof or is it just hearsay? And it's very hard because there's a gray line on what we can really talk about as definitive. And, you know, we got into a pacemaker discussion. I wish I remembered who it was that was in the chat that goes, enough of the pacemaker. And then it was hilarious. Well, not hilarious, but there were people that were like, Jennifer's right. I wear a pacemaker. Jennifer's correct. I wear a But there was a heated discussion about the pacemaker and how Pima County is kind of taking us on this freaking roller coaster ride from, you know, where HE double hockey sticks. And it's like, you know, come on. You're basically alluding to the fact that that's when she left the home was 2:28. And we're not going to get into it tonight, guys. Don't do it because last night was heated enough. I told Glenn I need a cold rag after all of this. My blood pressure went up, but you know what was nice is that we all laughed at the end of it. We all said, love you, see you later, bye. Like we could have a heated discussion, even disagree, and still like each other and visit each other's channels the next day. And that's called adulting the right way. So, you know, it's nice to have these channels where we can have disagreements and say respectfully, I disagree, or even wrong, or you're a moron, you got it wrong, but jokingly, respectfully, and still at the end of the day, like each other and respect each other and understand that at the heart of even the disagreements, at the heart of even I respectfully say you're wrong, is we all are worried about Nancy. We just want her back. We just want her to be found. And, you know, like Juanita said, I said, is there something that you really feel like should get more attention? And she was like, Nancy. So
yeah, that was pretty powerful. And that's why we're all here doing it right now. Now we have other topics that we're going to start bringing up, you know, different shows and everything. And we may like even inject them into other Nancy Guthrie episodes, and we'll spend 10 minutes on some other stuff we found because there's a lot of interesting cases out there. They're like this one. They feel almost, you know, people are helpless and they're hopeless. Mm-hmm. But there's hope if all these channels with all these viewers.
Yep.
I mean, we're the smallest one, I think, right now. But there are some out there where you know, coming up to 1 million. If they could put some of this on there, I feel like it could be definitely helpful.
Well, I remember even Mr. Garcia said that. He was like, every case that, you know, that he wished would get a little more attention, if he could, you know, find an outlet like Unsolved Mysteries he did, you know, all these, he was able to get them to feature the stories. He was like, the public is where it's at. So thank you so much for subscribing.
Can I bring up the data that you found about the independent?
Mm-hmm.
And you're still hot mic, so you can discuss this. This blew my mind, honestly, when you look at the totals.
I mean, I feel like it was interesting because Juanita said that she doesn't feel like anybody really watches the 6 o'clock news anymore. And, you know, I feel like this was interesting to see that national news is still, you know, 68%, local news 62%. But look at where YouTube is for news, guys. I thought that was really interesting. 35%. And independent news creators are 27%, but social and video news now reach 54% of Americans versus TV news at 50%. I mean, isn't that crazy?
And that was by the Pew Research and Reuters. So
it's
a real deal.
I mean, I feel like we're all feeling it, but
over half of all of us get our news now from social media and YouTube specifically.
Not that that's the most brilliant way to get it, but hey, thank you so much.
Hey, Kelly.
Super chat.
This delicious.
I appreciate your professionalism, integrity. Thank you. I'm so proud of you. Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, you touched on it a minute ago, and Jennifer will give you a little update here. She did speak to Mr. Garcia, and I'll let her tell you that. But a quick little note about that is that when he said that on our show, we were grateful, that people can come on here and say their theories and bring up things. That was a fact. And that's why we didn't mind that for sure. He had a service that says that. Now, is it real or not? We obviously couldn't, corroborate anything on that. Thank you. We investigate. The room is listening. Great talk last night.
Thank you so much. Yes, he was part of the heated discussion. And, Wayne and I still respect each other, even though we may disagree on some things. And I think, again, that's part of being an adult, folks.
We don't want yes people. That doesn't solve anything. If you really believe in something and you have passion that you're right, we want to hear from you. But at the same time, we do have to vet. If you go to our website, tbxunfiltered.com, we have a whole, verbiage in there in our website, what we're trying to do here. It kind of gives you the summary of, we want to be real. We want to be factual. We don't mind discussing theories though, but we were going to put a little asterisk by them to let them know until they become fact, they're a theory. It's one or the other. And then there's the whole human factor is that, not that Savannah Guthrie or anyone in their family watches us. If they happen to, we want them to know we're not doing this. First of all, we're not profitable. A lot of these are non-profit. It's not about that. We'd like to cover a little bit of our expenses, and it's nice to be able to do that. We don't expect it. We're grateful when we do. But it's really about especially Jennifer is totally compelled. She's a truth warrior and a justice warrior, and she just wants the truth to come out, and she just wants the bad people to get what they deserve and the good people to get what they deserve. And that's what this is really all about. I mean, working 7 days a week now, we're going to find our groove and hopefully be able to work 6 days a week at one point. But right now it's 7 and I'm okay with it. It's not like it's a blast, but
my stomach's not.
It is.
We're eating out more.
I feel like we kind of are on a journey now, and we have a mission. And that's why I just say go to the website. When we're not on the air, you can go on there and find out all kinds of other stuff. And we're putting our case files on there little by little. I mean, it's new. I'm still, getting it dialed in, as they say. So, yeah.
But I do have a copy of the document, and I think he has it. So here's to clarify what it was. I don't know what happened. Boy, some of y'all on X, I just put our show on there. Okay, guys?
Sikorsky.
Hey, Sikorsky. Jen, always beautiful and professional and make Glenn look good. Oh, thank you, Sikorsky. You're so sweet. I really appreciate you. And I think, it's all of us have one goal in mind, and that's Nancy. So when Bill said that, there's been a lot of talk about, I had no idea that so many people adored him. I mean, overwhelmingly, our chat exploded with comments on, wow, great interview. Thank you so much for bringing Mr. Garcia on.
Thank you guys for all the comments.
Yeah, we can't thank you enough. And when he kind of dropped that bomb and left the room, it was like all of a sudden, again, I'm on X to announce our show. I don't really go on there to look at comments, but I came back and I was like, what the heck happened?
Yeah, and I wish a new X account, isn't it?
I wished my sister... Back in the day, Heather was my sister Heather, that's right below me in age. We're about 17 months apart. We talk a million times a day. And Heather, if you're watching, I appreciate it. She's just the sweetest person, but she was a cheerleader, all the way through high school. And they had this cheer at our football games. And it was, oh, thank you, Dolly. I appreciate that. There was be aggressive, be aggressive. And I'm like, you guys are totally aggressive on X. Simmer down now. I'm like, people are like, it's Monday. Have you talked to Bill? You said it would be Monday. and can you send me a copy? I need to see a copy. We need proof. Oh, okay. Calm down, guys. Okay. I needed permission from Mr. Garcia to share it. I needed to know what I should redact, what should be okay to share. And the site is called, take your notepads out, everybody, TLO. And that's all in caps. That's T as in Tom, L as in Larry, O as in, outrageous. And then XP. And the XP are in lowercase letters. Thank you so much for subscribing. And you have to be an attorney, law enforcement, or a licensed private detective. And the list goes on. I mean, you have to have a license, background check. Thank you for subscribing. And I mean, it's a major thing. There is a public part of it, but that is the part that delves into like last four digits of your social security, all your, your emails, all the properties you own. Have you had any tickets? It's all of that. So he shared this one thing with me because he goes, I don't know what's going on here, but it's showing deceased and it's showing February 1st, 2026 as the date. And it's also showing, I think, on there that it looks like it may have been registered as such in May. It's a little confusing because I'm not a detective. I don't know how to read it. I talked to him briefly. He did say I'm allowed to share it. He told me to redact some things. So I got that done and I can share it. But again, TLO is done by TransUnion. So when you guys go buy a car, you want to finance a home, TransUnion is what they look at to see your record. So
Just a huge clearinghouse of data, and a lot of it's sensitive. So they've
right. So apparently, according to their website and according to the person that I talked to, they verify these things through either a death certificate that's filed with the court, a Social Security announcement, ME's announcement, which is a medical examiner. There's multiple ways that they verify this, as well as open sourcing. So Bill Garcia, called in, asked for somebody to follow up with him immediately on Monday, is what he told me. He put in 2 phone calls and still has not heard back. The problem with Arizona, unlike California, is what he said, is that you cannot go and get down to the courthouse and file a, Freedom of Information Act or, file to get a copy of somebody's death certificate unless you are a family member. So he's trying to figure out if they can at least tell him, not give him a copy of, tell him how it was certified as such. His concern was that there could be fraud. If it's, but
these big companies, these clearinghouses for sensitive data, it's all about where does their data come from. So they have their crawlers out grabbing information off of, like when you fill out an application somewhere, all the courthouses, all of the dockets before you even are in a criminal case or any case, civil case, and all that stuff. It's public information. It's going to go to these companies and they're going to hold it and not release it. And some of it is sensitive data. Well, the sensitive data level is where he has access to.
right.
So when he gets a record like this and he does a search and this record comes up, this was in the sensitive data section that not everybody can see. So that's when he sees it. He's like, well,
No,
wait a
it
minute.
was in the regular public record.
Yeah, but on this site, you couldn't see it unless you were the level he was logging in.
Well, my sister looked on the public site and it shows deceased.
Yeah, but that's not the JLO.
No. That's not the TLO. So the TLO XP version shows a lot of things, and that's why he did a poll on it. He wanted to do a poll before he came on our show to just see if anything has changed on there, and also take a deeper dive because, look, he's dealing with other missing children's cases right now. That's what he's primarily working on. He came on to give us a perspective of a private investigator, that if you were given a case, somebody hired you for a case, and that was another thing. Somebody was like, I wouldn't trust him. He doesn't take money. No.
See, Monica says Ancestry is reporting it as of February 1st. Yeah, these are the things say February 3rd or 2nd.
Right, which is kind of interesting. But according to TLO XP, like their actual, website, and when he talked to them, they do say that their primary sourcing seems to be more of a court level, that where they can call somebody deceased. So that's why he's trying to figure out more information on it. But Glenn can show you the copy.
Yeah, there it is.
This is it. So you all can see that it shows her, and it says 98% her, and I redacted her social security number, last 4 digits. The zip code was interesting, and he showed me another paperwork where that zip code, it's a little more specific. That is up, I guess, in Maricopa County, which is not Pima County, which was very interesting.
right?
It says no sound again. I don't know what's happening. It says they can hear you, but not me.
There's sound.
Okay.
No,
It says Glenn sounds good. I don't know. Sorry.
no, you're going.
Anyway, so if you can see on that, that was something that confused him, was the zip code death at death, because obviously the last known location was her home in Pima County. So, this was interesting to us. There was there's a lot of stuff here, but it says too small to read. Huh.
It's full screen.
I don't know. It's full screen. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you. You don't know me, do ya? We appreciate it. I think his concern was that, he wanted to, on these documents, by the way, and we can go back to showing our faces, is that at the bottom, there's a list on he didn't show it to me, but he was explaining to me that at the bottom of these is usually possible associates. So, and that's not family members. Like there's definitely a list of family on there, people, relatives or whatever, but there's possible associates, which was interesting to me because I think he wanted to, are valuable sources of different aspects of the case. Thank you, Jacqueline. We feel the same way. I mean, we go watch different channels for different things. But anyway, back to that document. That's the reason he pulled it. He wanted to see if there was anything else, because originally when I think he was interviewed about the case, he felt like there could be a cartel association. Okay. And I told him that people were saying that he said it was cartel. And he goes, I don't know how that got misunderstood. He said, no, I said cartel association. And he said, and I don't know why that wouldn't be something to consider when you're, an hour and a half away. But he also wanted me to clarify a little bit, which I said I would, that when you're a private investigator, you're going to have the victim in the middle. And it's going to be like a Venn diagram almost, of what comes off of it. It's like this person may be, somebody to check out and see, the web that it connects. We call it, the string. It's like, see the thread or whatever that connects these individuals that could potentially be connected. And, needless to say, when there were people detained, he's looking into those and see how did they know Nancy, or did they know Nancy, or was this random? So, thank you so much for becoming a member. We really appreciate it.
Sharon, thank you.
So, I thought it was interesting that at least my opinion from some of the comments was, he said originally it was this, and that's how I'm reading it. Because let's be honest, text message is very hard, whether it's in a comment, in X, to tell tone. So if you don't go, love the show, I'm assuming you're going, you're a jerk. You did it wrong. Or
you can say that too.
Yeah, and we're totally fine with it. But I was asking him, I said, look, people got really aggressive and passionate about this, that you said this or you said that. And now you're saying it's a different continent. And he goes, well, because it is. He goes, part of being a detective is you start off with what you think is normal and customary for a case like this, which, but a cartel-like crime. That's exactly right, Boomer. Thank you very much.
Someone said we're already squirreling around, but that's how talk shows like this work. We're not NBC, Fox. The chat is part of the conversation. So when we see something like that instantly makes us go, that's exactly right. This whole thing started crawling across the whole web universe that Jen and Glenn said the cartel did this because we interviewed a member of an organization that searches for lost people on the other side of the border in Mexico. She's saying that the person that called 8 times to say, Nancy, I buried her, and this is where she's at, she thinks he is a member of what she called the Nogales Mafia. Through more research, we found out that's kind of like the cartel-ish. But, and I'll say it again, I said it 2 episodes ago, the cartel, it's hard to say this, but it's so true. They are a very well-run organization. They are like a huge corporation. They have levels. They have different departments. They have 17,000 different kinds of businesses that they profit from. Many of them don't hurt anybody. Some of them do. Now, that's not saying that I love the cartel and everything.
Yeah.
No way. But we have to be truthful. This is how things get solved. We have to get clean and true about ourselves. And the facts are...
They're running the country down
right.
there.
There could be somebody who is the equivalent of a busboy, bringing up the kitchen and the cook and all that, and the restaurateur, the hierarchy thing again. This could be a busboy, and they probably make a little money handling things for certain other people through channels. That's all we're saying is that's a possibility. Do we really believe that's true? Like
not
I
our
said,
job.
I have about a 40 to 50, 60, sometimes 75% chance that this is a tip that's worthy of them even going and looking at. But I just wish that they would address it and just go down or call or say, we looked into it, take it off your list. That's all I need to hear from any of them, FBI, PEMA,
But yeah,
anybody.
somehow it turned into on the other channels that we think that the
cartel
cartel is
did it.
responsible for being at her door and
We do
yanking her out
not
of
think
bed.
the cartel went in
No.
Nancy's house and took her. It's not what
Nor
we're saying.
nor did Bill. He said that he thinks that they could be involved, and that's this could be 6 degrees of separation from Kevin Bacon here.
Yeah, they certainly don't want to waste their time doing that. But
No.
for $6 million, some underling wannabe cartel person, maybe they're affiliated with it through another person, and they think, who knows? There's so many different layers, but we're not saying that, our mafia, like Guido Sarducci, would spend time on Nancy Guthrie. Obviously not. But again, this is all about a tip came in to, we can say their name again. Say it. You say it so nicely.
No, I don't. Buscando Corazones. But no, I mean, it
Is
came
the tip
in.
real or not? We don't know. I did a whole show
Bill
on
thought it
tips.
was
That worries
interesting.
me too. 40,000 tips. Where are they all at?
His point was, that he is looking into somebody, I guess. He hasn't told me who or whom on a different continent that somehow is connected to a few of these people. And he said that he kind of talked about it before. He's still trying to figure it out. I mean, he said, but that's the point of a detective. When you're a private detective, you can go down different rabbit holes and then you go, that was a dead end. I need to start back at the beginning. So I thought it was very interesting that people kind of assumed that if he puts out a theory in the beginning, he should stick to it. And, now he's lying. I'm like, that's interesting.
He also said somebody said in there,
only
he
a
said
few
some
people,
things
but still.
negative about independent coverage channels. And a lot of people have. I used to. It's like we're all evolving. This is a new thing. I mean, in the last 10 years, I feel like there's some YouTube channels that were, sitting where we were or lower on subscriptions. And now they have 2 million people subscribed and they have, 50,000 people watching every time.
Well, I think he was more specific, don't you think, though?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't
He was
seen
more
it.
so-
I'm
yeah.
just saying I was that way too. Don't judge me, but now I kind of understand it. Like even when Uber came out, I'm like, I'm not getting in some car that somebody else is driving. Then how are they? Do they have their driver's license? Now, we just Ubered to the airport the other day. It's just how it works.
Yeah.
So we get used to it. We all
Anyway,
evolve.
I appreciate all of you for writing and commenting, but I apologize I didn't answer on X. I'm not very, finally somebody taught me how to do it yesterday. Because I'm like, there's comments that somehow I'm tagged in and I don't even know how the heck to respond to these. And I don't know what they're talking about. Like,
Well, isn't the X account brand new?
well, I had a personal one, but yes, this account is new for
this
just the
one.
business,
Right.
for the
So it
podcast.
started off, you put a couple posts on there. I saw it was like 100 people thumbs up there, whatever they do on there. What do they do?
Oh, so they like it. I mean, it's the
like
same
it,
thing.
whatever.
Yeah.
And now you get over 1,000 just a few weeks later per. Did you notice that?
No.
Yeah.
So that's
It's
what
like
I mean. I
1,000.
don't even look. And then I
don't
saw
know
that
how
somebody's like,
happened.
Jennifer's wrong. And I'm like, what am I wrong about? And I couldn't
lot.
figure out how to click on it. Yeah, but no, most people are super nice. And again, we don't want everybody to agree with us. That's not what this is about.
Look, we're our biggest critics, honestly.
Ugh.
I mean,
Jeez.
when we're not on the air, we'll find a little fact and we so want to put it on, and then we vet it, and it kind of vets out, but not all the way.
Speaking of, can you tell me when my mascara or eyeliner is like, falling down to my freaking chin? That would be nice. And
Yeah, I got an earful today. Thanks, guys, for not saying anything.
I was running around outside with a dog. It's like hotter than Hades all of a sudden. It was humid as heck. I come in, he's like, "You've got 5 minutes. Juanita's coming on." I'm like, "Shoot. Okay, quick."
lunch break.
Quickly run in. And then I sit down and he's like, "Oh, it was so great." And we're playing. He goes, "You want to see it?" And I'm like, "What's happening here?" And he was like, "Nobody cares." And I'm like, so yes, we are we're our biggest critics on everything, but
She won't even watch the shows back. I have to for technical reasons to see if, like that sound issue earlier, I'm going to make sure I figured that out.
well, and it doesn't help that you're like, I don't want to talk this episode. I'll let you just talk the whole time. And then you're like, can I get a word in? Well, as if I'm taking over the show.
I'm more of the, the grip.
Yeah, but you need to tell
Technician.
people that so they don't think,
well, whatever. And that's true too, is that we don't agree a lot of this stuff that's coming in. And what's interesting now is that we're doing a show together. We still do our own independent research. And then she bounces things off me, I bounce things off her, and we'll come to different conclusions. Right. And to me, it's like if we have different conclusions, I just know that when we put out what we're going to put out, there's going to not be a consensus across the board either. That's why we did a few polls over the last few days. But, you know, it is what it is. But real quick, we have, oh my God, it just jumped to 1,300 and almost 50 people here.
Wow, thank you so much, guys.
Where is everyone from? I saw Major Rammer Jammer asked earlier, but
well, I heard Go Dogs from Wayne Investigates. So we know where he's from. So
yeah, so where's everyone from? Just put it in the chat, you know, wherever. Georgia. We had some
New Zealand. We had some.
Yeah, there's a New Zealand person. He's been I go
in Australia.
I go on other channels and I see the New Zealand comes up.
What's funny is I have cousins in New Zealand. I have cousins in Australia. They say that they're from the land of Oz, OZ, which is cute. And then we have some family in Canada as well.
Ohio, Washington State. Wow, that's way up there. Beautiful state.
Texas.
Oklahoma, neighbors.
I see Texas.
New
Jersey.
Yes, we love our Texas.
Kentucky.
Tampa,
SoCal.
Indiana. Oh my God, Pittsburgh. We know there.
Okay.
Tampa.
Yep, I have family in Pennsylvania. Missouri.
Love Florida. Tennessee, one of our favorites.
Welcome.
Missouri.
Toronto, Canada.
Live in Missouri.
Live in Missouri. In the Ozarks.
Springfield. All right, getting close.
Hey.
Florida, Illinois.
Prince Edward Island.
Beautiful.
Awesome. Utah.
Another beautiful.
But you did live a long time in Kansas. Yep, that's a neighbor.
Tucson.
And Tucson.
Tucsonian, whatever.
Tucsonan, I think.
Tucsonan.
Montana. I used to live in Montana when I was little.
Georgia.
Now that is cold.
Used to live in Georgia. Grew up in Marietta.
I used to live in Billings, Montana.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Houston's in the house.
We have a lot of friends in Houston.
Yeah.
And Texas.
Uruguay.
Ohio.
Uruguay. Oh, Sydney.
So when I was little and I was memorizing the states and their capitals, I used to go, Ohio. Like I was Columbus saying Ohio. Anyway.
You taught our kids that.
I know. Well, it helps.
Illinois. All right. Georgia. Another New Zealander.
That is so cool.
Australia, New Zealand.
Australia, Alabama. Well, thank you guys so much. Wow.
Philippines, but he's in Seattle right now.
North Dakota. Okay, Miss Northern Grace. Do you remember a book called The Dumb North Dakotans?
Oh.
It was kind of funny. It was a joke book. It was for Montanans because they would make fun of North Dakota. It was like a thing. Anyway, I love North Dakota. And South Dakota. Let's see. Is there anything else?
Too much for me. All I can say, where is Nancy? Praying for her to be found soon. We are too.
Oh, thank you, Dean.
With Jim, an amazing idea for recovery. May God bless you all. You too, Dean.
Oh, good doctors from Billings. Yeah, I loved Billings.
Peculiar, Missouri. We drive through there a lot going into Kansas City.
But is it really peculiar? Not really. So
it's a neat area up there.
Yeah.
California. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And don't we have one more thing?
We got a lot of stuff
left. Well, it's already an hour and a half, and some people are like,
well,
I can only do an hour.
The giveaway.
Yep.
So we'll do I don't know what
perfect. I'm going to pull up.
We could do do another hat. Everybody likes the hats. It's hard doing like a sweatshirt because it's don't know where you live.
Yeah, and if you're Florida, a boy, girl, we all wear hats, right?
Yeah.
So Rhode Island, awesome. New Hampshire. New Hampshire is so pretty. And Michigan, I want to go to Michigan. I've always wanted to see it. It'd be fun. And Kentucky.
What? I used to live in Bergen County. Now I'm in Ocean. Oh, yeah. Oregon, beautiful.
Iowa. Okay, so do your giveaway.
All right, I'm starting the giveaway. It started. So there should be something comes up and it'll tell you what you have to enter and how to enter it in the chat.
Do we need a drum roll for this?
No.
And anybody, if you could subscribe, we really appreciate it. If you like our channel, please. I hope you appreciated Juanita's.
Congratulations.
Thank you. There we go. I hope you enjoyed Juanita's interview. She was so nice and gracious. We really appreciate it, Juanita. We know how limited your time is, so we really appreciate you taking the time.
The giveaway is open. It says type, and the exclamation mark has to be there. So exclamation mark or point, however you say it, TBX Live. No spaces.
That's basically an enter code. You have to have that code to get entered
when you
in.
type that into the chat, we have a little system that does a search in the chat. When it's over, we have 5 minutes. And then I put all those into the
thank you, baby bear.
Wheel of Wonder.
She got one of our hoodies. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Mute. Somebody says mute.
The hat was the only merch
I didn't buy. Thank you. Thank you, Enter. That was really nice of you. Tahoe is beautiful.
There we go. There we go.
There we go.
See, this chat window here is not official, so it takes a little bit.
Thank you so much, Christina. We appreciate it. We appreciate everybody that subscribed tonight and all of our members.
All the members. That's
and the likes.
We're having fun with the members.
How are we doing with the likes? You hate asking for likes, but
832. I don't know.
We have 1,239 in here. It'd be nice to get a few more if you appreciated the content. But if you don't know us,
don't like if you don't like us.
Yeah, exactly.
We're just reminding the people that do. If you hit that like button, that does so much more for our channel than being here. No, that's not true. You got to be here too.
No, we appreciate.
But the like is a big, huge thing that they look at, and if we don't get the likes, then they don't tell anybody about us.
Yep, like, subscribe, share. We appreciate it. Well, if you don't know us, we, at the end of these, we're talking about things that make our blood pressure go up. I've gotten emails that said, this case is making me crazy. Please take care of yourself. Like, people are so nice. And they're like, I haven't slept, or this, it stresses me out. So I want to leave on a good note, let you end the evening with us on a positive note. So I call it a feel good. And the song, I think that you're sharing right tonight, it's the Hey Goods, right?
Should be on there.
Yeah. So the Hey Goods
I think so.
are actually a band. You guys should go check them out. They're in the Ozarks. They are amazing. And they gave us permission to use this song for our channel whenever we wanted to. And they actually gave us that permission before we started our channel. So it was really, really nice of them. And I guess they really liked us. They saw something that we did on Instagram, and the gentleman that actually knows them very well asked on our behalf, and he was like, they just think it would fit their brand, and they were like, absolutely. So they're
kind of a big deal in the Branson, Missouri area. The Branson's a bunch of famous people there, and they're one of them. They play a lot at the Clay Cooper Theater, and I went to high school with Clay Cooper. So if some weird chance he's watching, or anybody that knows Clay Cooper, tell him Glenn said hi.
Oh, thank you so much. That is very nice of you, Michelle. We really appreciate you.
Michelle, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
We really appreciate that. That was nice of you. She says, hit the like and let's go to 1,000 likes for Jen and Glenn. That is so nice of you.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. Oh, they got married. Lisa said she got married in the Ozarks at the Log Chapel. Oh, that is so cool. I know, it's such a beautiful area. We feel lucky to live here. We just moved here a year ago from Texas.
Yeah, there's waterfalls in the United States. The central United States, and a lot of them are here in the Ozarks, in Arkansas, Missouri area.
Oh, Jay Har said she's spending her birthday with us. Well, happy birthday. Thank you so much.
Who said that?
OMG, my dad used to watch that at Three's Company. Come and knock on the door.
Whose
I'm not going to
birthday
sing it.
is
I'm not
it?
going to do it. Jay Har.
Well, we got to sing happy birthday. Go.
No, I'm not. But happy birthday, Jay Har.
It's probably copyrighted. We'll get our show shut down or something.
Happy birthday. Thank you so much.
The giveaway is still open.
Jen got married on the beach in the Philippines.
Got it, Rita.
That's awesome. My gosh, I bet that was beautiful. Well, I wanted to share some awesome comments from you guys.
Well, we're doing the giveaway.
I'm sorry. I keep forgetting you have to. I thought it was at the end.
Well, it's finishing
Congrats
up here.
we hit 5,000 subscribers?
I don't know.
Somebody just said congrats on 5,000.
No, who said
What?
that? There's no way.
Riffy, 14158.
says 4.91, but I can't look into the.
Oh, we can't. Major will have to tell us. We can't refresh right now because
That
we're
happened
live.
during a show.
That's awesome. If we did,
Oh, we
thank you so
did.
much. We did?
5,000.03.
Oh my gosh, guys. Thank you so
Good
much.
job for everybody.
Wow. We've been doing this for 1 month and a week.
Can't believe it.
That's crazy.
We keep getting notifications from all these other services that YouTube you can sign up for or whatever, which
thank you so
they're
much for the
free,
jewels.
so I don't know how good they are, but they keep sending me emails saying, this is all your analytics and everything, and like something's wrong.
Oh.
It said you have the analytics of a
That's your
2-year-old
department.
channel. I'm like, oh, what does that mean?
Well, our channel for this, I had somebody ask, so you guys have been on for a while. And I'm like, no, I had a channel so I could interact with other channels. And we had it a long time ago because I thought I was going to share decor stuff. For those of you that don't know me, I was an interior designer. And then I just never did it. So we decided to just change the name when we decided to do a podcast. So no, we've only our first post was just a month and a week ago, or a month and 2 weeks. What are we on, week 2 now? Anyway, so thank you so much. That's from all of you. We really appreciate all the kind words and the support, and the subscribers and members. We're having so much fun with that. We don't ask that you become a member. Thank you for the jewels. We just appreciate those of you that do. It's, kind of a member supported channel, and like and subscribe. But the members, we do a little behind the scenes and kind of take you on some road trips with us and talk about things like after the show or before a show. And our members got to hear a hi from Juanita before today. So we really appreciate all of you.
5,000.
That's crazy. We really appreciate it.
October.
And another jewel. Thank you so much. So are you going to run the wheel now?
I've got it working now. So we're going to.
Hallelujah.
It didn't work.
We need a cheers for that.
It still spun the wheel. You just couldn't see it. So here's the wheel with everyone's name on it. Can you read your name?
That's a lot of names.
We're going to spin. It's going to go fast. And there's going to be one lucky winner. The anticipation is killing you.
Why do I feel like you're like Pat Sajak right now?
Move that out of the way because I may not be able to see the boom. Okay, here we go. Whoa, look at it go. Look at that go. Oh my gosh.
Okay, you're having a little bit too much goofy fun with this.
Resisting arrest. What a better name to win tonight.
What a great name.
Resisting arrest.
Congratulations.
W2G.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just leaving it up there for a minute if I have to go back in here and find it later.
So say hi in the chat so we know you're here. And that way you can send us an email and we'll send you the link for your TBX hat. Congratulations, yes. Resisting arrest. It's the greatest name ever.
Now, it's funny is that on this screen we'll be able to see it quicker, but I think you get an automated message. All you have to do is go in there and say something, resisting arrest.
We appreciate it,
and then it'll tell you congratulations. But resisting arrest, send us an email, TBX tips at TBX Unfiltered.
The one that did the website.
.com. Well, that's not the website.
Oh,
tips
that's
at
an email.
TBXUnfiltered.com. Now you can go to the website and contact it through there too. But the easiest way is probably just to type in TBX at Unfiltered.
I'm blaming Patriot Pride. They kept us up too late.
At TBXUnfiltered.com.
Congratulations. All right.
I don't see him coming up in there. He must have.
Is he not? Are they gone?
Well, this will actually tell
No
me.
way. Oh, no, right there. Thank you, Major. Yes, the little dog photo right there. It's up at the top.
Perfect.
That dog is hilarious. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
So just send an email to tips at tbxunfiltered.com. And I'll give you a code and you can go on there and you don't have to give me your address or anything. You just all secure. So let's see here. The other thing I wanted to do. Is tell everybody, since we're getting close to the end,
I have to put my readers on to read these.
People are leaving, is to do this. If you go to the website, click right there where it says stay connected.
Don't leave yet, though. I want to show you all
don't
something.
Go do it now. Just eventually go to tbxunfiltered.com and do what that little thing just showed you there. And all it does, it doesn't give you on big email list of sending you a bunch of stuff. We don't sell any of our lists of anything. It'll just give you the initial newsletter. And then we're doing a newsletter every month, just kind of a wrap up of the month and what to look forward to in the future and anything that's kind of going on that's, current.
And guys, we're so close to 1,000 likes. It would be nice. We really appreciate it if you do, because we still have 1,095 people in here. Okay, so at the end, when like I said, we talk about horrible things on here, stressful things, sad things. So I like to end it on a positive note. And I'm so sorry, my throat is dry. Let me take a little sip before I do this. What? No wonder Savannah Guthrie treats YouTubers so badly. It's because they're putting her out of business. LOL. Rachel, that is hilarious. That's not funny, but it is funny.
We could be friends with Rachel.
So at 75 more likes, Major Rammer Jammer, our mod said he will gift a TBX mug.
My gosh, Rammer Jammer.
So we appreciate that, Mr. Rammer Jammer.
And I would, if I were you guys, when the show's all over and the credits are rolling, you should stick around and read the credits. There could be some pretty neat stuff in there.
All right. Are you ready to play my song so I can read?
Let's hope this works, because I had to go make some adjustments while we were live.
Okay. So a little picture from the Ozarks. This is our feel-good moment, guys. And this song is from the Hey Goods. I'm new to your channel. This is from Deborah. I'm new to your channel and I'm impressed already. I discovered through Crime Crunchies, thank you, Courtney, through Monk's Intrigue, and discovered you when you were on her show recently. I appreciate your truth-seeking hearts and dedication to the truth. I'm so grateful for individuals like Mr. Garcia. Thank you all. And then the next one from Barbie. Glenn and Jen are the new pair of eyes. Thank you, really. I am so impressed with your channel and content. Bill Garcia is amazing. Thank you for, Gloria said, thank you for the informative content. I think your channel is a good start, and you certainly make it your business to bring good information who could give us information. I'm sure that your channel will be a success. Let's see. Or you're sure will thrive, she said. And then let's see. The next one is Michelle. Hello, Jen and Glenn. Wow, just wow. This is so informative, and I thank you both, as well as Mr. Garcia, for everything that you do.
Oh,
and then,
baby, look, that was
Grand Maid. Let me just say, that intro was so impressive. That's Glenn. I know you must have put so much into creating it. That episode was amazing. I learned so much. I'm glad to see your channel, and you can make a difference with a heart. We really appreciate you. June, I love your show. New member here. I heard about death certificate a few months ago. It went nowhere at the time, but Mr. Garcia was a very interesting guest, and the Army. So thank you so much. Then we have Danny D. Thank you so much, Danny D, and I love your new call sign. Great show as usual. You two go above and beyond. I love it. Thank you for all your hard work. Bring Nancy home. Heidi, replay crew, great information. Y'all are easy to listen to. Thank you. I'm listening from South Florida. We thank you. And then we have Sheila. She said she started watching and fell asleep. Sorry, Sheila. She said that she's on the replay crew now. Great show as usual, Glenn and Jen, from Danny D. And then Janie, Jennifer and Glenn, excellent interview. You two are Earth Angels in all caps. You had wonderful guests, including Mr. Garcia. And then we have Joan. Thank you for all the great individuals you have been able to get. Paige, thank you so much. And then it's Juanita is great. She really sees details and sees outside the box. So Danny was excited about seeing her. Thank you, Danny, for all your comments. We really appreciate it. And then BB Electra. Hi there. Thanks for this beautiful background. Love it. Want to go so bad. BB, we thank you so much for being a part of the TBX crew. All of you. We appreciate you for watching. And then Michelle, what a beautiful place. Thank you for all your coverage and commitment to this case. I thought the interview with Mr. Garcia was excellent. I just ordered a TBX shirt. Thank you, Michelle Lynn. Can't wait to wear it. I continue to send love and prayers your way. Also can't wait to hear what Juanita has to say. Thank you so much. We can't thank you guys enough for being a part of our new channel here, for being a part of our community. That's, the main goal here, like Juanita Adame said, is bringing Nancy home, bringing attention to other people that are missing and don't have a voice. That's what we're about. We're not going to get everything right. We're not going to say everything that everybody agrees with. That's, the point here is to be unfiltered, be unapologetic, although we apologize, it feels like a lot. But we just appreciate those of you that support us, are kind, and remember that it's okay to adult and come in here and disagree, but still at the end of the show, say thank you so much for being here and continue to join us twice a week. We're here Tuesday night, 7 p.m., Saturday night, 7 p.m. So those of you that don't have, something super fun planned on Saturday nights and want to hang out with us, we really appreciate it.
We can't go anywhere yet because we're only about 10 away from a free something.
Oh, from a free mug?
Yeah.
Come on, 10 more likes, everybody. We would really appreciate it.
We'll spend the money on more tape so that somebody gets a free.
What?
Back in the day, all this stuff, they had to put it on tape.
Glenn needs a water.
So that was expensive. Airtime was expensive, but now look at us now.
Yeah, back in the day. Oh my gosh. Let me see if I can read some of these. You both are great. A class act, enjoying this drama-free stream. Thank you so much, Angie. That's what we were hoping for.
7 more. Come on, peeps.
I mean, all of us have enough drama in regular life.
Hey, real quick, what we could do is
what?
Saturday, we have our Bitcoin expert that we interviewed. Kind of like tonight. We
you
had to interview him
guys.
separately.
Yeah.
That's a lot of good information, not just about the ransom letters and what was said and is that legit and all that. We have all those answers from a guy that knows. And this guy's been on all the major networks and he's the real deal.
Another one I couldn't believe, gave us the opportunity. But
he also goes over Bitcoin, literally just anybody that has a savings account. There's some things you need to know what's going on now. And it's a dangerous world out there a little bit.
Well, he's not just a Bitcoin expert, though. He's explaining what he is.
Stuff. He's a forensic expert into cryptocurrency and blockchain, which just means he can explain to us what it really means, to what Bitcoin really is for, people that don't know or people that own it but don't really understand it, and how to take care of yourself, because he has definitions and he owns a company that's all he does is investigate Bitcoin and cryptocurrency blockchain issues people may have, or they may have lost some or whatever, but he's the guy. I mean,
we hit over 1,024 likes. You guys are awesome.
Some people to unlike, so we hit 1,000. He said if we hit 1,000.
So unlike. Major, thank you so much. So I'll let you pick it, Major. You have to let us know so that we can tell somebody, are we doing the wheel again? Do we just want to do the wheel again?
I think he's going to look through the chat and pick somebody.
Okay.
Because I don't know.
We'll let you pick. Thank you so much, Major.
And then, Major, if you want to just let me know, I can get you a link.
Good job, chat. We thank you guys so much. And 5,000 subs and 1,000 likes. I'm telling you what, Baby Bear forever. Some of you guys have been here so long since the beginning. So long. A month and a week.
I mean, you've been here since the very beginning. 10 minutes ago.
I tell you what, we are totally humbled. For those of you that don't know our story, Glenn and I were friends for 3 years before we started dating, I guess.
Yeah, it was about 3
I had
years.
to ask him out.
What
Major happened? What? What'd he say?
Is that him doing that so that I'll just do it? Major Ramajammer.
You paid for a super chat. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, that's so nice.
Major Ramajammer is the winner of the mug?
You're totally joking.
Major Ramajammer super chat. $20.
What
Major.
did you do?
TBX mug winner.
You're the mug winner? No, certainly not. But anyway, I was one of the guys. I had 4 guy friends, and I was the only girl. And we would watch football,
Jen
baseball.
was one of the guys. She's really into football.
I mean, I wear girly stuff,
freakish.
but I'm kind of a tomboy. I mean, I freaked you out on our honeymoon, didn't I?
People don't know she's part Hawaiian. Like literally, when you're part Hawaiian or Hawaiian, you have your card carrying. She's not someone just born in Hawaii, which she was. She's not somebody who just used to live in Hawaii, which she did. She's literally Hawaiian, like her sister Heather, and they actually have royal Hawaiian blood, which is a pretty big deal. She won't talk about it, but I will. They're very well entrenched into the Hawaiian life. Her father is still there.
My family's still there. I've got cousins on almost every island.
He's 101 years old now. We just saw him a few weeks ago, a couple months ago. If you've ever been to the Hawaiian Islands, they're just stunningly beautiful. You think you've gone to another planet almost.
Well, and I got a lot of, I was able to have my great grandmother.
But that's your hair issue.
Yeah. It gets ginormous. My grandmother, which is where the Hawaiian side comes, she was Hawaiian Chinese and a little bit of English. It was like a dot of Chinese and mostly Hawaiian. And her mother was almost full blood Hawaiian. And I got to have my, what did she say? Grab a Glen needs a water, allegedly hoodie.
The allegedly hoodie instead of the water.
We had one designed because of this. This is so funny. So it was actually a very faithful follower that designed it. It was very sweet.
Oh yeah, tell everybody that.
But anyway, Inner Strength, we really appreciate you. And she's the one that designed the sweatshirt. It's hilarious. But anyway,
instead of the water bottle, I just need the hoodie now.
I was super lucky. I got to have my great grandmother till I was 14 years old, and she was awesome, you guys. And my stepmom still talks about how she would wrap up her muumuu, which is a long dress that they would wear traditionally over there. And she wore them all the time. I mean, that's what she wore every day. And she would wrap it up and tie it in a knot and wade out into the water and start grabbing mussels and eating them right out of the water. I mean, she grew up on Molokai, which is a little small island. And that's where our family started.
Elizabeth, her husband, is part Rock.
Oh, really? That's awesome. So yeah,
it's definitely an interesting culture for sure.
Yeah, Halava Valley is where they grew up, and they had a taro plantation and taro farmers, and then we had family on Maui and the Big Island, and what else? Oh shoot, Kauai. But most of my family is on Oahu. So anyway, yeah, what was your point of bringing that up?
You were saying getting to know us. You're Hawaiian. I'm New Yorker.
I was talking about being a tomboy.
I've lived in Texas since 1982, so over 40-something years.
Yeah, me 80s.
And I don't have an accent because I was born in New York, but I grew up in Marietta, Georgia, by way of Virgin Islands for years. So I'm an island boy too. You're an island girl. I'm an island boy. But with my fair skin, it wasn't fun being there. You walk outside of that close to the equator and you sizzle. And then I moved to Texas in 82 and I've been there ever since.
And then, of course, PSAs come out from doctors saying it's not great for you, whatever. And yet one doctor was like,
all right, it's official. Mike said one more call.
One more call. Good night.
One more chat. Good night, Mike.
Good night, Mike. Thank you so much for hanging out so long, you guys. You're really sweet.
Now, I would watch the credits if I were you. You don't want to miss this.
Thank you for helping us hit 5,000 and over 1,000 likes. You guys are awesome. We got 1,227 likes. And we had like an after party, chit chat here from everything from colonoscopies, dermatology to Kathy Lee.
Gets the last word.
Talking about Thank you.
Now, next episode, the credits are even more hilarious.
What?
They're not funny. They're just more wow.
So Saturday, in case you didn't hear that earlier, it's going to be the crypto forensic expert that I was able to get an interview with. He's
well known.
Very interesting. He's been on a lot of large mainstream media channels. I felt very lucky that we got a chance to talk with him. And I just wanted to hear more about the ransom note stuff we've heard from abduction, frequency and how that happens. And, who normally is the person to be abducted if it's, Bitcoin is the goal. So guys, he had some really interesting information. So I think you're going to really appreciate the interview. And so it's going to be kind of like Juanita's because these people are busy and can't hang out like this for 3 hours. No. Yeah. And I'm appreciative of anybody that does that. So
Bitcoin blockchain, using it as a way to get ransom paid, how common it is, how it works. He gives all the answers really. And then he goes into
his company, and he didn't pitch his company at all. We had to keep asking him, what's the name of it? I'm not even sure we figured it out what it was, but it was more about why his company or companies like his exist now. And
yeah, very, very interesting information. So
it's good. It'll be an education for sure.
I think you guys will like it.
Yeah.
Now that I've got my readers. Major is signing off. Thank you all for the love and support. I know. Sorry, Major. We kept you too late and you were up late last night.
It's like the after party.
Great chat. Good information. I just wondering if something bigger has indeed happened. Simply trying to settle it with my heart regarding the family. Yeah, I wondered the same thing, Renee. I really feel like there could be more going on that maybe they're scared to be out there and talking. And I think anytime something like this happens, you wonder who would do it and, could more be a target. So that's a very good point, Renee.
100 more people just came in. I don't want them to be disappointed in us.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Oh my gosh. We love you guys.
Thank you so much,
Watch
everybody.
the credits on your way out.
Yeah,
please
pray for our military tonight. Major said they got some news.
Subscribe on your way out and pray for the military.
He said he just got a text he didn't want to see. Major, I'm so sorry. Yeah, please pray for our military, you guys, tonight. Please, please. He's got some information that doesn't sound good. So,
all right, Major.
All right.
Call
Prayers
us.
Coming. All right.
Talk to you later, guys.
See you Saturday.
Welcome to Thornbridge, under the break room light. Jam brings the facts, Glenn brings the hard truth. Cold case folders open, names we will not lose. We follow every thread for the ones abused. No smoke,